Hey, this is ForkOfSpite. Welcome to this guide for Heart of Mystery. So this will essentially be three parts. This first part will just try to explain the setup. The second part will try to rationalize a way to figure out what you're supposed to do. And then the third part of the guide will just go about actually solving the puzzle. And then following the guide, I will switch to a Let's Play where I actually solve the puzzle and see what happens. Okay, so the setup. This is basically a screenshot of the Heart of Mystery puzzle with obviously some effects added. Towards the top of the screen in the north, that is the portal to the Final Veil. To the left is the portal to Forgotten Secrets. At the bottom is the portal to Legacy of Ancients. And to the right is the portal to Core of the Riddle. So that's a little chaotic. We don't need to label all of those. So let me get rid of some of these just to clear up the clutter a little bit. I'll keep the Core of the Riddle just for orientation. Okay, so off to the right, on the right hand side, are all of the pieces for Heart of Mystery. These pieces are found at the Laughing Caves. So you have 4 full containers. You have 4 2/3 full containers. And 4 1/3 full containers. So we're dealing with thirds, so I've separated each container into their individual cells and placed those off to the left. Okay, the starting pieces, the outside pieces, those are already filled in, presuming you've solved all of the puzzles. So if you've solved the Final Veil, then these top outside pieces are filled in. I've added the color just to make the symbols a little more legible. If you solved Forgotten Secrets, then these outside symbols are already there. If you've solved Legacy of the Ancients, then these symbols are already there. And if you solve Core of the Riddle, these are already there. And at least in version 2.1.5N, you actually need to solve all 4 of these puzzles in order to just be able to place any of the pieces inside the Heart of Mystery puzzle. So when you do, when you place a piece, such as right there, sort of this red dot, the bottom of the container, if you will correspond to where the hand interactions are on the puzzle. And that's what these red dots are. So these are the actual interactions where you can place pieces. That's what those dots are. And then the line just shows the orientation of the actual piece. So if you try to place a full container in that spot, you'll get that. If you try to place a 2/3 full container here, you'll get something like this. So that is what is going on, and the goal somehow is to figure out what to do with all 12 of these pieces. Alright, up next, try to figure out how to, or what we're actually supposed to do. Alright, so what are we supposed to do with this mess? Well, elsewhere in the game, figure out that these various symbols actually have a numerical meaning. So it makes sense to start there. Let's just replace all of those symbols with their numerical meaning. There we go. So now it makes a little bit of sense to try to say make the numbers add up to something or some sort of math, make them add up. So for example, in this column, maybe we want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces filled. Well, we already have 3 that are unfilled. Maybe we want 6 that are empty. Whatever. Maybe we want something to do with adding up these columns and rows. However, if we look at this row right here, these already add up to 7 with nothing else over here. And this is a 7 by 7 grid. So there's at most 7 pieces, if you will. And this center one right here, it's already empty. It's not even sure it's part of actually the playing area. You can't do anything about this middle piece. So do you want all of the other 6 to be orange or empty? However, these right here and right here will always be blue. So we can't really make everything in here orange. We can't make everything in here blue. So we can't really make things add up to 7. Furthermore, let's consider adding up all of these numbers. Like up on top we have, let's see. Probably should have done this in advance. What? 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 26, 27. So we have total of 27 up here. Down on the right hand side we have 4, 8, 10, 11, 16, 20. So let me write that down. So we have 20 here. Down here we have 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 18, I think. I might have made a math error there. Hopefully I didn't. I should double check. 18? Three, 6, 7, 8, 12, and 6 is 18. Yes. All right. And over on the left-hand side, we have 7, and 3 is 10, and 5 is 15. All right. Now let's see if we can add these up. Wow. All right. 27 and 15 is 42, and 20 is 62, and 18 is 80. Well, I mean, this is a 7 by 7 board, so there's 49 total pieces. However, each thing appears in both a column and a row. So, for example, this empty space, if you will, it would contribute towards this one. It would contribute towards this column and this row. However, we can't really do anything with 80. It makes most sense to try to make things filled anyway. So how many filled cells do we have? We have 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. So we're kind of looking for 48. So, congratulations to those who can figure this out on their own, who like solving puzzles. I mean, if you're a puzzle solver, if you are a puzzle solver, if that's your thing, then maybe it's not that bad. However, let's get rid of some of these numbers because we're just adding up to too much. That's right. The outside numbers don't matter at all for the Heart of Mystery puzzle. All right, so let's add these up again. We have 5, 8, 9, 11. So we have 11 over here. We have 4. Hey, that's a pretty easy one. We have, over on the right-hand side, 4, 8, 12, 13. And up top, we have 10 and a bunch of 2s. So 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. There we go. So let's see what that adds up to. 20 and 13 is 33. And 4 is 37. And 11 is 48. That just happens to correspond to our 24 filled cells, each appearing in a row and a column. So that means the goal, what you're trying to do, is fill these in such a way that the total number of filled cells in this row is 3 plus 1 is 4. Trying to fill up in such a way that this column is 2 plus nothing is 2. So that's what you're trying to do. Try to make the sum of the filled cells in each row equal the sum of the outside numbers in that row, but only the numbers that are closest to the puzzle. And same thing for the columns. Okay, up next, some logic to how to go about to do that. All right, now that we have an idea of what we want to do, let's go ahead and start filling in this puzzle. So each one of these red dots, that's where the hand interactions are, that's where you place pieces. They all start with blue. So let's go and place these starting blue pieces. All right. So at this point, it's just a matter of looking for columns and rows where all of your unknown spaces either all need to be filled in order to add up to what you need, or all be empty because you already have all of the filled ones that you need. So for example, this row right here, we need 4 blues. Right now we don't have any. There's only 4 more unknowns in that row. So all 4 of those are going to have to be blue. This row, we need 3. We already have 3. So the other 4 unknown all have to be empty or orange. And a little bit of redundancy here, but we could also look at this column, which needs 2. We already have 2, so the other unknown one has to be orange empty, but we already knew that from the row. So let's go ahead and place all of those. First, this row, all of the available places need to be filled. And this one's an end piece, so let me go ahead and use an end. Alright, and all 4 of these have to be empty. Alright. So, let's go ahead and look at this space right here. Well, there's no such thing as a container that's filled on both ends but empty in the middle. We either have filled, filled, filled. Those are the completely filled. Filled, filled, empty. Those are the 2/3 filled. Or filled, empty, empty. Those are the 1/3. There is no filled, empty, filled. Since we know this last part has to be filled, that means the middle part also has to be filled. So there we go. So now we can place 3 of our containers. We have a 1/3 full container down here. We have a 1/3 full container next to it. Right here. Or end to end, I guess. And we have a full container right here. Alright. Let's just look for more columns or rows where everything is already done. So right here, we need 3 blues in this column. We already have 3 blues in that column. So the other unknown one has to be orange. And since it's an end piece, let's go and use that. And we can now place a 2/3 full container. Okay. Next up, this last column over here. Alright, 5, 6. So we need 6. We already have 5. But what would happen if we tried to make our 6th one here? Well, then we would have to make this orange, because otherwise we'd have 7. But again, there's no such thing as blue, orange, blue. So the other one is the one that has to be filled. So we need filled here, empty here, and we could place another 2/3 full container. Alright, next let's look at this row here. We need 3. 1, 2. Well, can't really figure out a whole lot, but we can at least figure out the status of this end. Because if this were blue, if this part were filled, again, there's no blue, orange, blue. That means the one next to it would also have to be blue. And that would give us too many, because that would be 4 then. So we know that we need the end part here to be empty. So we don't yet know whether this is going to be a 1/3 container or a 2/3 container, but we know it's not going to be a full container. So now that we know that part, now we can look at this column. If I can make the line stick, you can see where I'm going. We need a total of 5 blues in that column. We have 1, 2, 3 with only 2 more spots, so they both have to be filled. And now we can place another full container. All right. Let's go to this row. Need 3. We already have 3. So therefore, the unknown one has to be orange. Alright, next we're going to look at this cell here and this row, this top row. So we need 4 blue. 1, 2, 3. Again, there's no blue, orange, blue. So therefore, that has to be empty. Orange. Now let's look at this column. There we go. 2, 1, with only one other space, so that one has to be filled. And because that's filled, that means this can't be orange. So this one will have to be blue as well. And we get to place another full container. Back to this row. Or, I mean, we're just looking at that row, sort of. If I could only draw a good line. I can't. Whatever. We need a total of 5 in this row. 4, 5. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So therefore, this last one has to be empty. And we can place a 2/3 container. Alright, now we only have 4 more containers. Right here, right here, right here, and right here. We have 1 more full container. Well, where will that fit? Won't fit here. Won't fit here. Won't fit here. It will only fit here. So let's place our blue piece and then the container. And now we can look at the rows and columns and just finish it up. Well, alright, let's look at the top row. Top row needs 4. We already have 4, so therefore everything else needs to be empty. So that's empty. And we get a 1/3 container. And let's try this column right here. 2, 3. So we need 3. We have 1, 2, 3. So therefore this has to be empty. There we go. And we can place another 1/3. Container. And, well, we only have 1 container left. I have no idea why I have 3 extra end pieces. I suspect I had some copied on top of each other. But I'm not going to re-record this just to make that go away. I've already tried several times. Several restarts making this. But there we go. Let's make it a little bit cleaner by deleting those. Alright, that is the solution. I will try to put a still shot of the screenshot from the actual game of the solution, and then I'll start the Let's Play. Alright, stay tuned. Alright, I hope that guide was watchable. And now welcome to the Let's Play. Obviously there's going to be spoilers from this point on. I'm going to actually solve the puzzle and then we're going to see what happens afterward. One of the spoiler things is I didn't actually say in the guide where these symbols are revealed with the meaning. And that, of course, is in Nenio's quest. More than nothing. So you can find those symbols in the Enigma. Okay, so this is a Last Aslanti Let's Play on core difficulty. And although it's definitely not a blind Let's Play, I don't know exactly how it's going to play out. Some things can vary based on past decisions. I don't know exactly what's going to happen here. But let's go ahead and get started. So this should be a 1/3 full container, like that. And this one should be a 1/3 filled container, like that. And this one should be a full container, like that. Yes. And over here we get our first 2/3 container. And up here we get another 2/3 container. Down here we get a full container. And over here another full container. Up here is 2/3. Our last full. And 1/3. 1/3 here. Yeah, here. And 2/3. Alright, so how am I going to take a screenshot of that? Because that portal's probably still going to be there. Let's take a look at the journal. Claim the reward! Well, let's go see what that reward is. But first, let me pause to see if I can somehow get a screenshot of this. Alright. Let's go claim that reward. Loot! Really? Oh, that's the picking up a tile. Secret passage. That looks familiar. The Enigma. Again.
Beautiful.
Oh, hi. Didn't we already kill you once? This will be your second time in your own domain. Or is this just another fake one? Reveal yourself. Because that's always appropriate, right? You blind? Who you waiting for? The one who refused to follow their cat. The one who survived Earthfall. Yeah, we've been revealing that guy's story. You want to name Storyteller as your avatar? Come on. Sure. It's been a while since I've done a chaotic, even though I started out as chaotic. Let's try this. We can wait. We can wait. We can wait. Although it is getting towards the end of the day, and we do have crusade management stuff to do today if we can. But we can wait. Aw. Was I supposed to attack this? Maybe. Oh, hi. Ancient ghost. Haven't seen you in a while. Think we know who you are, though. Yep, you were once a thief. Mask of the Most Worthy. Hi, Kiny. Alright, well, good luck with that. Alright. Ask of the most worthy. Also cursed. We don't like cursed things. Yeah, we don't like cursed things. We're going to drop this. And we are going to try to destroy it when we move. Although maybe we should give it to the storyteller. Think storyteller might have something to say about that? Nah. Last is Lonnie, I don't know.
Let's see what we can do.
Alright. So there probably isn't, but this place certainly looks familiar, right? So, which way is north? We're facing south. So that way is north. So we're in the northwest corner of this platform. The other two portals that we found were the northeast and southwest. So I can't help but think that there's something in the southeast corner. How do you have a corner on a circle? Whatever. I can't help but think that there's something there. I mean, probably isn't, but who knows?
Here we go.
Alright, let's go ahead and get out and destroy that mask. How do we get out of here? This way?
I can handle it.
Come on.
Can't make the demons wait.
Alright, next time we head back to Dresden for Crusade Management. We need to talk to Wilser for the insignificant losses, see if he has anything there. Obviously we need to talk to the storyteller, plus we have some elven notes. And we'll see what else happens. Obviously we have stuff waiting for us already. Alright, thanks for joining me. This is ForkOfSpite signing out. Sayonara.